Leeds is a city of marching on together. Leeds is the city where our communities come together. And I want to thank brothers and sisters from other faiths, my dear friend Bishop Aaron, my friend Councillor James Lewis, friends from across the political spectrum here in our city for coming here today and saying no, not in our city, not on our watch. Leeds is where we made it clear in the 1930s and in the 1960s, we don't do hate, we don't do intolerance, we won't tolerate intolerance. So my message today is the Lord Mayor of our city, the first citizen, the representative of the entire city, is very clear, is very simple. To those who spew hatred and lies, who use the same blood libels and old anti-Semitic tropes that we have faced for generations, we see you for what you are. We hear you for what you are, and there is no place for you, not now, not ever, not in our city, not in our country. We are one city and we don't do hate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lord Mayor Cohen. For those of you who don't know, I'm Simon Myerson. I'm the chair of the Leeds Jewish Representative Council, and with me is the Chief Executive Officer, Susie Gordon.
Today is about standing together, raising awareness, and thus taking action to challenge anti-Semitism.
The Representative Council has joined with Leeds against anti-Semitism. We've joined with the council leader, the Conservative Party, and other faiths because of what happened on Saturday, the 16th of August. What happened on Saturday, the 16th of August, was shocking anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism wears many faces, but when centuries-old stereotypes and libels are used against Jewish people by thugs, it's not acceptable, and it's no more acceptable because they have a medical qualification.
Absolutely right.
The only proper response to racism of any kind is to call it out and clear it from the streets. That is what we are attempting to do.
This is why this event, like today, is so important. We stand together as one community to show that hatred has no place in our city.
There are some thank yous, as you will anticipate. Firstly, to Leeds against anti-Semitism for the work they do and for collaborating with us. Their weekly and sometimes daily work for our community is achieving something. We are making a difference. To CST, a huge thank you to people from the community who volunteer to keep the rest of us safe. We recognise also their work behind the scenes. And the key message to all of you is this: report it. Report it to the police, report it to the CST. Don't let racists do to you something which doesn't lead to a response. Our thanks also to the Jewish Leadership Council and the Board of Deputies from whom you will hear, but particularly to Leo Grosh for his work behind the scenes in political engagement.
We will look forward to hearing from our speakers today. We also received an apology from the West Yorkshire Mayor, Tracy Brabin, who's on holiday. She has sent her full support and will meet us on her return.
As ever, we appreciate the attendance and the solidarity of our civic representatives, Councillor James Lewis, who leads the city, and Councillor Sam Firth from the Conservative Party, and from our wider faith community leader and friend, Bishop Aaron, from whom you will hear.
And from our own Jewish community, Jeremy Michelson's come from Manchester from the Board of Deputies to speak to you, and Ben Fraze, who's heavily involved in LLA's activities. And a special thank you as well from Debbie Adelstein, the founder of LLA, one of the most passionate people you'll ever meet, who's been so helpful making today happen.
What we do as an organised community via the Leeds Jewish Representative Council extends from advocacy training to engaging decision makers. We are focused on tackling anti-Semitism, ignorance and intolerance. That's how we support ourselves as a community. The far left, Shelley, which ends, "We are many, they are few." Well, we are few. That is the irreducible fact. There's nothing we can do about it, but what we can do is rely on the good faith of allies in this city.
Absolutely.
We can make ourselves heard. We can argue our position, we can convince by the power of our arguments and by coming together. That requires everybody's commitment and involvement. There's no way that we can do it as a small group. So to all of you who've given up your Sunday mornings and who must have thought 12 hours ago that you were going to be standing under a shed load of umbrellas, thank you. We do it together because there is no other way to do it.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Councillor James Lewis. I'm a leader of Leeds City Council, and I've come to give a very simple message this afternoon. And there was it's right in front of me, there's a banner there that says Jews can't fight anti-Semitism alone. And I've come to say I will do everything I can as leader of the council to make sure we are with you, to make sure that anti-Semitism is not something that is part of life in this city. I've heard what Simon and Susie said in the introduction and the Lord Mayor as well. And I've also spoken to many of our Jewish residents as well about how people feel and about how we can work together to tackle anti-Semitism in this city. And that is something that is so important for me. We have a real thing we talk about here at the council, about working as Team Leeds, working together to make Leeds a better place. We'd have gone with Leeds United, but somebody stole that title in 1919. And we do want to bring people together. We do want to work with everybody in the city, with all religions in the city through our interfaith work, and we do want to make Leeds a place where tolerance is at the centre of everything that happens here. I know that's not the case. I know how people feel. I've heard that. When I've been invited to synagogues recently, and I have to walk past 2 or 3 police officers stood outside for you to go to religious services. That's not right, and I want to make sure we're a city where we're working away from that. That's not something, you know, when I go to the Bishop Narrow or I go to the Catholic Cathedral, I'm not people outside, and I understand that is not something that we want to work against. So what are we doing about it? We are working really closely with the Leeds Jewish Representative Council, with Leeds Against Anti-Semitism, with the Board of Deputies on an Anti-Semitism Action Plan in Leeds. That's something we're working on. We do all the things we do in the city, so we license this building, we work really hard with everybody to mark Holocaust Memorial Day, and we work to celebrate as well when there are big events in the city, and that is something we do. I know it is something that we as a council really want to work against anti-Semitism. I know there is more we can do. I know people are frustrated. I will leave you with one simple message. I want to work with everybody here to make sure anti-Semitism isn't something in the city, isn't something people feel, isn't something that people are experiencing. There's a long way to go. There's plenty of people here who we are working with to try and do that, and that's what we will continue to do. I'm really proud of the work we do in Leeds, and I'm happy to stand here and say we are working with you. I know there is more to do. I know there are things that we can all do together, and I'm committed to continue that work. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sam Firth, and I'm one of the councillors for the Harewood Ward, and I'm here representing the Conservatives on Leeds City Council, and representing Alan Lamb, who's our leader, who is definitely here with us in spirit today, but unfortunately couldn't be with us due to a pride commitment. 2 weeks ago, we let the Jewish community in Leeds down. Two weeks ago, and that's how long it's taken to go through all of the emails, by the way. So thank you very much to everyone who sent those emails to let us know about their voice being raised about what happened 2 weeks ago. You told us in advance what was going to happen. And the police and the council should have done far more to ensure that those individuals who we knew what they were going to spout, what they were going to say, did not get a platform in this city. We all believe in free speech in this city. We believe in the legitimate right to protest. That is why you're here today. But we cannot mean that that does not apply fairly to everyone. And 2 weeks ago, unfortunately, this city let the Jewish community down. And we've got to make sure that that never happens again. There's a phrase I learned in A-level politics a while ago, I know. The right to swing your fist ends where it meets another's nose. Hate should never be allowed on the streets of Leeds, and we should apply fairness to allow freedom of speech, but when it actively preaches hate against others, that is not acceptable. So thank you for meeting today. Thank you for coming. And we, the Conservatives, stand with you and everyone who is willing to do that to ensure that free speech continues, but we also make sure that those who don't deserve a platform do not get it. Thank you very much.
I don't agree with that message. We need to hear the people who hate and then deal with the consequences.
Friends,
Very
I
quickly.
bring greetings to you from your sisters and brothers in the Christian Church. My name is Aaron. I serve as the Bishop of Kirkstall with responsibility for the City of Leeds. As Chair of the Leeds Faith Forum, I also bring greetings and solidarity from other faith leaders across the city who stand with you in condemning racism, anti-Semitism, division and hate in our city. My friends, I bring a message of peace to you. Simon has mentioned earlier the poem used by others, by Shelley, but there is another poem, that written by Seamus Heaney, used at the Belfast Good Friday Agreement, the Siege of Troy, where Heaney wrote of that time when peace and history will rhyme. It is a prayer and a hope that is as present now in our city as it is in our world. Friends, as we stand in solidarity with one another today, so it is with that message of peace, working towards what will come, but standing alongside one another in the meantime each day, recognizing that in our city, in this common place that we share and we call home, there is no place in our schools, in our parks, outside our hotels, for hatred, for division, for the kind of hate that we see on the rise. Friends, we live in a time when hate speech is on the rise again. We see it, we hear it, but it is only together that we will defeat it. So I stand with you and come with that message of peace, with the encouragement that it is only through standing together that we will defeat those enemies, those peddlers of hate, who will seek to divide us. Peace be with you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeremy Michelson. I'm the Vice President of the Board of Deputies of British Jews with responsibility for communities and education. The board, as you know, is the national democratically elected representative body for British Jewry. And I've come with a very, very simple message. Leeds does not stand alone, will not stand alone against anti-Semitism. The board will do everything it can when required to do so. Obviously, we follow the lead of the Rep Council here. They are the people they are the people on the spot, but we will provide any support we can to make sure that this scourge is not allowed to take root in Leeds or anywhere else. In my division, the Communities and Education Division, we're constantly fighting against some of the pernicious material that's now going into schools, and we are constantly calling it out, constantly trying to get teachers, education departments, etc., to only allow balanced material on the situation in the Middle East to go in. And because this contentious material causes the very anti-Semitism that people in Leeds had to endure 2 weeks ago. So we're with you. We've tried to do our very best to help, and we wish you all the best.
Good afternoon. I want to speak to you today as a friend, a neighbour, a parent, and as a proud member of our Jewish community. Leeds is a place where communities look out for one another, but lately many of us have become concerned in a way we never thought we would be. Anti-Semitism is sadly not something consigned to history. It is happening here, in our own city and many others. People who are openly Jewish have been attacked and abused. Security guards protect our schools and children. Many of us do not wear symbols of our faith as we once did, for fear of recognition and reprisal. Jewish students and chaplains have been targeted with vandalism and death threats. And blood libels have been heard in our streets, evoking centuries of Jew hate. 2 weeks ago, racist extremists marched through our city centre on a Saturday afternoon, spreading their hatred. They could have been prevented from doing so beforehand by the authorities. Their speeches targeted Jewish schools and synagogues. Age-old anti-Semitic tropes were repeated and applauded. Nothing was done to stop them. The police stood by and let it happen. While some of these incidents may not be hate crimes in the eyes of the law, they are together designed to create a culture of hate aimed at Jewish people, to demonise and dehumanise them, to instill fear in them, to make this normal and acceptable in our society. We know all too well how this creeping anti-Semitism works. It starts with words. It starts on the streets. It starts in the universities. It starts when the authorities are indifferent to what's in front of them. History shows us that when these voices are allowed to fester, they become louder, confident, and before long progress vocals of physical hate. We know because it happened to our families in cities like this one just 80 years ago. We know because 6 million of us were murdered across Europe within the lifetime of people standing here today. But we will not be victims again. We fought the common enemy of Mosley and his fascists here on these streets. Our parents and grandparents fought for our country against the Nazis, and we will continue to defend those hard-won rights, values and freedoms they fought and died for. We are therefore all proud to call this city our home. But home should feel secure for all of us, and right now, for too many Jewish families, it doesn't. When we turn to the authorities that should stand with us most firmly, the police and the council, they failed us. They can do better. They can listen, learn and respond with real understanding. They can recognise that anti-Semitism carries deep scars for a community that knows throughout history what happens when hatred is ignored. Above all, it means taking our fears seriously and not waiting until something terrible happens before real action is taken. This is not a Jewish issue alone. When one community is singled out, the whole fabric of society is weakened. Anti-Semitism, like all forms of hatred, corrodes trust, divides neighbours and undermines the values that makes Leeds a city we can all be proud of. Tackling it is not about political correctness or box ticking. It is about safety, dignity and the kind of future we want for all our children. So I say this, we will not be invisible and we will not be silent. We will be seen and we will be heard. We call on our police and our council to stand with us, not in words, but in actions, to listen with open hearts and minds, to act with seriousness, and to show that in Leeds, hatred will never find a home. Thank you very much.
I'm Debbie Atherstone, co-chair of Leeds Against Anti-Semitism. Before we close today's event, I really want to say a grateful thanks to all of the speakers who've taken the time to address us today. It's certainly not an easy time to be a Jew. Nowhere feels safe. The obsession with the Jews feels like hysteria, or as the journalist Nicole Lambert describes it, a fetish. Many of us feel scared to be ourselves, and our daily life is impacted for fear of anti-Semitism. If you are Jewish and you experience any Jew hate in a taxi, on a bus, in a shop, on the streets or at work, it is vital that you report it to your employer, to the police and to CST. If you don't report it, it hasn't happened, as far as the authorities are concerned, and there is no evidence or record of the occurrence. We do have to acknowledge, however, that not all Jew hate can be reported. It's as Alex Webster described to me, it's like a vapour. We know it's there, we can feel it, but it's hard to grasp. We're really grateful to those of you who've spoken today, but this is against the backdrop of knowing there are MPs and councillors in this city who are definitely not our friends. Whether they are ignorant, naive, or ill-informed, they are adding to and legitimising anti-Semitism with their messaging. They feed the vapour. They don't seem to care about community relations in our city when we are just trying to live in peace with our neighbours. The flags on buildings, the stickers, the placards on our streets and roadsides, and leaflets pushed through our doors all lead to our community feeling violated and abandoned by the authorities. We we call on the Council and West Yorkshire Police at this time to listen to our community. Prove that you care about the Jews who you serve. We don't want hollow platitudes. We want and need action. We believe it is important that those who have the ability and the responsibility are held to account. However, we also believe that strength comes in working together and facing the situation together in a collaborative way. It is really important to us. Leeds against anti-Semitism are working hard to break down barriers. Understanding, accountability and education are key to positively moving things forward. We have had some success and are so grateful for the loyal support of our volunteers, in particular the blessing of our non-Jewish allies, all righteous people. Please come and join us. We have a whole diary of future events and are handing out leaflets, so please take one. If you'd like to purchase a t-shirt or polo shirt, please speak to one of us. Our next community vigil will be on Sunday, October the 12th, where we will gather to remember the horror of October the 7th, honour the victims and confront the subsequent outpouring of anti-Semitism that continues unabated today. We call for peace and tolerance between all communities. Thank you.
Report it. Tell people what you have been through. Come on the 15th of September to the advocacy training session. 14th of September to the advocacy training session. Because we are trying to build a cohort of people who can win arguments, not with the idiots who defaced our streets a couple of weeks ago. There's no point arguing with them. We're trying to build a cohort of people who can spread the word and win the argument with neutral people. You can be a part of that. Thank you to the police for looking after us today. I share the view that the senior officers did not do enough 2 weeks ago, but that does not mean that we are not protected in our day-to-day lives. We are grateful for that. We are deserving of it, but we also have it, and there have been times when we know we haven't. Go home. Enjoy our Jewish lives. Don't let people stop you being what you are. (2,000, 3,000 years ago, we had the culture and the society we still have today. The people who came 2 weeks ago were painting their bodies blue. There is something to value and to treasure and something to give. Never forget that we represent an old, a peaceful, a civilized, a law-abiding culture. That's who we are. You've all been part of it today, and we are truly grateful. As the Bishop said, let's go home in peace. Let's meet b'smachot on happy occasions.
Wow, there were some good messages there, but there was also the typical woke-ish messages from the Tories, the politicians, the priests, who won't really call out what's actually happening. There was the woke request by the Tory councillor to cancel free speech, to prevent people speaking. I completely disagree with that. I want to know exactly who is saying what, so I know who my enemy is. I don't want them hidden away in little enclaves on private WhatsApp groups spreading this stuff. I want them saying it loud and proud, and then they can suffer the consequences. But overall, it was a good turnout to support the Jewish community here. And of course, you have the leaders delivering their messages, but the reality is felt by these people. The reality of the hate, the anti-Semitism. And I'll address somebody like Cresta, who says Zionists kill babies in their beds, or eat babies in their beds, or something stupid like that. One of the most ridiculous things that I think I've ever had written on my channel in the chat at all. And it will stay there so that people understand what kind of an asshole that person is. Somebody merely with hate in their mind, being indoctrinated to hate, just like all the lefties. But the general message as people here was to report what happens to you, because if you don't report it, nothing can be done about it. And not to be afraid of being who you are. Not to be afraid of being Jewish. The same message could go out to all the Christians. For far too long in Britain, we have kept religion completely out of society. It's always been a totally private thing, and we have allowed another religion to come in, push itself proudly, push itself onto us, claim that it's a minority and a victim status, while its adherents go around doing rather nasty stuff in various places across the land. And as such, we do need the Christians to come out, like that happened at UKIP's march in Skegness yesterday, or rather it was the Unite the Right march yesterday, with UKIP, which is a Christian nationalist party under the leadership of Nick Tenconi, and he's bringing out the Christians. And frankly, they're needed. Alongside everybody that has British values, English values, Scottish values, Welsh values, about protecting our nation and protecting our culture. And you can hear a hubbub here. I mean, there's communities here. Everybody stood around in their little groups and they're all chatting away. And this is exactly like it is on most Patriot marches. Whether it's UKIP, Britain First, or any of the others, None of the others have really done anything. It will be on the 13th of September, it'll be exactly like this. People in little clumps and groups chatting away, enjoying community. And yet, when the lefty marches come along, it's all chanting and shouting and disturbing the peace and the ability of people across the city, whichever city it is in, from being able to get around. It's about destroying harmony, the harmony that we have in our country. So it's a good group here, it's a good bunch. And they've received some messages from these politicians. I'm not sure the messages were anything other than politicians virtue signalling. The lady from Leeds against anti-Semitism was absolutely right. She came up and the last thing she basically said was, it's all very well saying these platitudes from here. You now have to put your words into action and deal with stuff properly. And she was right about that. And this was here at Leeds Town Hall. At Millennium Square.
Are you from a TV company?
No, I'm from YouTube.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Sorry, thank you. We weren't sure.
You have your own channel?
Yes.
Okay.
I know it's It's to do his job. He's missing the good bits. It's all right. I remember reading there's an email about it.
I'm Monday Media. I work with News Now Yorkshire, Monday. Have I been asked to record? No. I am doing it for my purposes. And they're slowly leaving in little groups. So it's pretty much done. And I'm going to call that a day. I know Street Hawk's here somewhere. And I will go and find him. And a few other people. Say that again.
The leader of the council, why is he saying anything? With the Lord.
Yeah.
You know, I stood there, everybody, apart from the Green Party, listened and stood and reassured. And a year later, we are in so much of a worse position. And that has to be on you. You are the leader of Leeds City Council.
I like to say there are some things you have to facilitate, even if we don't like the views of the people that are doing it. I'm happy to work with the police around what they do, and that's something we're going to take forward.
For our point, the police take an oath to police without fear or favour, or in total fear of doing anything. Justice needs to be seen to be done on the streets of Leeds, and the fact that it hasn't been seen to be done for 2 years has emboldened these people so that we get what happened 2 weeks ago, roaming around the streets, and you as Leeds City Council leader should be ashamed of your city for allowing it. That's all I want to say.
So why didn't you do it? Southend Council as a leader of the council put out a statement saying, we do not want this on our premises, we do not want this on our streets. I don't see Leeds Labour Group do any statement ever because it's unequivocal as that saying the hate is unacceptable. I fully always support the right to protest, even if I don't like it. And PSC have a right to protest, but they don't have a right to assault people. They don't have a right to use stewards who are racist. So why are Leeds City Council not putting out unequivocal statements? You're the leader. 2 weeks ago, you could have put out an unequivocal statement saying, if this happened, we do not want this to happen under any circumstances. But you did it. Why?
Well, I don't want to see hate at Leeds. Let me be clear about that. I'm quite happy to say that publicly, and I'm quite happy to make statements.
What are you doing about it? It's very nice that you're making these statements. You've been making these statements for 2 years. You've been saying things are happening behind the scenes. But what is actually happening? There are these conversations behind the scenes, and we're going to have another conversation, and it'll happen again. And not only that, there's a difference between a right to protest and a right to take over the streets. Every single Saturday this is happening. Every Saturday. It's not protest anymore. It's out and out racism. It is not protest. They're very clever. They know how to manipulate what is racist, and occasionally they do step over the line, and they've been pulled up for that. But we've been, as well as the example of Southend, we've been in London, and we have seen don't agree with the protest there either, but there are restrictions put on them. They are only allowed to go in certain areas. When I asked the police 2 weeks ago on Saturday whether they were going to march or not, the Bronze Commander, thank you, the Bronze Commander, and I do have his collar number, I'm not going to say it, but I do have his collar number. He said, we don't know what they're doing. And so we can't stop them. And then they went off and marched, and he said you didn't know what they were doing. They march, stop, march, stop, march, stop. Now I've been down to Ellen Road when Man United's been, and I've seen the police controlling the crowd. So I know they've got the means to do it. And so why are they not doing it? It is not protest. It is attempt to intimidate the Jewish community, and because you are not supporting, the police are not supporting you, coming out with these platitudes. Every time something gets ratcheted up, you're coming out with a platitude. Oh, we're working behind the scenes. What are you going to do about it? Other than don't say we're working behind the scenes. I don't want that as an answer.
I don't think I said working behind the scenes. I'm going to work with the Jewish community and the police on how we can address the concerns that were raised a couple of weeks ago. The police are a separate organisation from us, but we do work with them, and I really want the concerns I've heard today and I've heard in the weeks recently to be put to the police to understand what the police are doing.
Well, the council put out a statement condemning what happened on the 16th, a clear and unequivocal statement saying that can never happen again on the streets of Leeds.
I'm really clear, like I say, I'm really clear. I don't want to see hate on the street.
I've asked you, you're the leader of Leeds City Council, you have the authority to do it. Will you, as the leader of Leeds City Council, put out a clear and unequivocal statement that the 16th of August should never, I know you don't have the power to, but in your opinion, as the leader of Leeds City Council, you never want to see that level of hate on our streets again?
I'm very clear about that, yes.
Put the statement out.
I'll look at doing that, yes.
So, this week?
I'll look at doing it, yes.
Okay. There's no sense of urgency around this. We're 2 weeks on and you're still talking about you're going to do things. It's really not sufficient.
Could I ask, is there any chance that you might actually turn up on a Saturday at 12:30 down at the library and actually follow the marches so that you understand exactly what's being said, what's being chanted, the types of things that these people are actually saying?
So I came last year when Leeds Anti-Semitism organised another event.
I'm not talking about the Leeds against anti-Semitism. I'm talking about the pro-Palestine protests every Saturday that march through the streets of Leeds, and listening to what it is they're chanting, what it is that they say at their speeches, what it is that they say to people who are Jewish or what they call Zios. Would you be prepared to go and follow one of those marches and just listen to it all and actually feel that hatred?
What I was just going to say was, when Leeds Anti-Semitism organised an event last year, I was there, I was pleased to march with them, and I heard what the counter-protester was saying, so I have heard some of the language used, and I imagine it's the same on the Saturday protests.
I would suggest turning up.
I think
Just
that's
once.
a great idea.
Just
I think
once.
That's a great idea. See what you just said you experienced at that LLAA event was a microcosm of the vehemence, the vile speech, the atmosphere. And if you're going to genuinely act on it, you need to understand it. So you need to be there. And I'm aware also that these conversations, there's other people who have not been there as well. And you need to experience it. So thank you for bringing that up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take that.
I'll leave them alone. Well, it's on there. It's on there.
You take a whole video of the thing?
Except the very, very, very beginning of the first speech, because I was just setting up.
Okay, I'm from the Jewish Telegraph.
Right.
Is there any chance you could send it to me?
Of course I can, if you've got a card or something. Or you can grab it straight off, because it's live. It's live stream. So if I write down on YouTube, you can grab it yourself.
Can we?
Yeah. So YouTube, Mondi Media, MONDYMED, Mondi Media. It's 2 green MMs. You can just grab it. You can use whatever you like.
What's your name?
Mondi.
Okay, thank you very much.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, for YouTube. My YouTube channel.
They asked me to film a bit in case Yorkshire TV couldn't make it. I don't think they have made it.
I've no idea.
So are your clips available too?
If they're wanting, if they are, this is for the Jewish community in terms of giving that to them.
Yeah.
If Yorkshire TV want my clips, they can contact me to
Sure. Okay, that's fine.
agree something.
No, it's fine. They asked me to do it in case they didn't film. But it was Susie who asked me to do it, and I did the photos.
I don't know anybody at.
Oh, you don't know anyone?
No.
Oh, right.
I'm just a small YouTuber that comes around and does stuff in Leeds and around the country, wherever I can get to.
Your action for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you
And
seen
the live
Pocket?
stream.
Have you seen the Pocket 3?
I don't use the pocket one. Is that the sort of long thing? Yeah. The thing Billy Moore uses.
It's kind of got its own gimbal.
Gimbal inside it, and it's very small. Yeah. I've not looked at it myself, but I've seen people using it. All right. Brilliant. Cheers. Right. I'm going to call it a day then, and I'm going to sit with Adam down here, and surprised he didn't bring the dog actually, but thanks very much for watching, everybody. Got a couple of conversations at the end. I'm not sure about this Tory councillor that these two are talking to. He seems to want to prevent free speech, whereas I would prefer to have free speech so I know who is saying what, and you can understand who it is that is saying this stuff and who is your enemy. So anyway, thanks very much, everybody. I'm going to call it a day there. It's nearly 49 minutes long. It's pretty much over, and I will see you soon. Cheers. Bye.